following video is about something that's done in movies as a trope or kind of an in-joke in a lot of movies, like the whole enhance, and it's always the same stupid scene that lowers everybody's IQ in the building. But anyway, here we are with GPS and or latitude, longitude coordinates. Just like I will tell you that you're supposed to use century, year, month, day, as is intended by the timekeepers, I will be telling you not to use degrees, minutes, and seconds. In the United States, we use that because it's based on timing. It was actually based on primarily a method for finding your location on the Earth by literally using the time itself as your position going around. But we now use decimal degrees. Please use that because that's how computers do it, and we need to accommodate for them. I'm sticking to that statement. Now, let's get on with it. The movie, The Knowing, 2009, was filmed from March 25th, 2008 to June 17th, on location primarily in Australia. However, it's supposed to take place mostly in the United States, obviously, and there is one location in the United States that's used effectively to ground the location. It's in Westford, Massachusetts, USA, at Haystack Observatory. Now, at that location, if you're not aware of this, at observatories and sometimes antennas, transceivers, various landmarks on Earth, you might find a plaque or just a button, a metal button somewhere in the yard or on somewhere that says the exact GPS coordinates, otherwise known as latitude and longitude, usually down to a 4-digit, maybe 5-digit resolution. Now, at that location, they do or do not have that. Most of them do, because if you're pointing a telescope at the sky and you're going to record something, one of the recordings you do is you give where the observatory named blah, blah, blah at, and then it's the GPS, or your coordinates. Coordinate systems can be written out many, many ways, and they'll do hours, minutes, and seconds rather than degrees, minutes, and seconds for some references, because that way you just use time on a clock, because you use a 24-hour clock. Literally 24 hours instead of 12 hours duplicated. The Haystack Observatory is at approximately 42.62 and some change by, I'm going to say, negative 71.48. Pretty much 71.5 and 42.6. That's close enough. Now, if you do that to 4 digits, where you have the 4262 and the 7148, it's really 49 at that point. That will get you within plus or minus a pretty small amount. If you're not aware of it, each degree on the surface of the Earth's worst case scenario is 71 miles. So you're going to be less than a mile off if you're doing it at 100th of that, obviously. So that's good enough. That'll get you to where you're within a visual distance, rock throwing distance of whatever you're looking for. Or maybe not, depending on your opinion that you will post below. Cool. Now, the location for Lucinda Embry's home, or wherever it's supposed to be, that's the last coordinate on the really long string of numbers that someone very, very exhaustively hand wrote back out from the movie and noted the mistakes in it, because there were, and also just fake time and date stamps and locations that they put in that would look plausible. It's a movie prop. It doesn't have to be perfect. The ones for Lucinda Embry's home are 42.75 by 71.37. Now, 4275 is a nice non-round, non-randomized looking number. If you're not aware of it, when you tell people to make up a number, they'll try to pick a number that's random, but it always ends up being there's a certain set of numbers that get brought up more often. And a lot of times, you can almost tell what part of the population you're dealing with if they're knowledgeable about numbers. A lot of them will pick prime numbers, or just numbers that are not common in their existence. But they end up being the numbers they use probably for their passwords, logins, and, PIN numbers. And it's just a thing. Stupid people do stupid stuff. But anyway, if you haven't figured it out, again, the 42.75 by 71.37, well, the other number for Haystack Observatory, the 71, was 71,488. and this is 71.37. That's down by, let's say, 0.1, and then one more, 0.11 smaller. Okay, what about the other number at Haystack Observatory, which is 4262? Well, it's 4275. It's up 0.1. Excuse me. Yeah, it's up. Let's see. Brain is not working right now. 0.13. They threw a couple of extra digits onto it. They were probably looking at a plaque at Haystack Observatory saying its physical location, and then just added some random numbers on it and then looked it up. If they were smart, because this is 2008, 2009 era, they probably had the ability to bring up a piece of software and find what the location is. Now, this is the goofy thing. It will, if you do this, it should just be some random, not important location. It shouldn't have any characteristics about it in 2008 or 2009 that would be important or interesting. However, where you find it, if you look a little ways up at almost exactly 10.6 miles and a straight line from the observatory, you find a path that power lines are taking and hit a corner at that point. And you can draw a completely straight line through that lines up perfectly with the observatory. And at being 10 point something miles away, that straight line is literally not reinterpretable by having it be kind of a curve where you can flip it one way or another. It's literally a straight line path from that high tension power rig pole set down through the pathway for the others, straight at the observatory. And the observatory may have noted that somewhere because it's an electromagnetic interference source. So, to review. In the movie, 2009 movie, The Knowing, the location for the last GPS location where everybody else dies, EE, is a location that's at 42.75 by 71.37. And if you look near it, you find a power line series that if you draw a straight line through it and its pathway before it takes any turns, points straight at the observatory, which is the only location in the United States featured as a location in the movie. The rest of them are all in Australia. And it's almost exactly 10.6 miles away if you go to that power line set. And anyway, the location, if you're not aware of it, is near looks like a kind of a farmstead with an airplane landing area, and please don't bother them. But it's a location not reachable unless you go over their property, and I don't think they'd be interested in random fans of another Gage movie, showing up. So here we are. That's the end of it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. And links below in the description. And I will try to include a copy of the entire number sequence so you can print it out yourself and put it in some weird glyph format and print it double-sided on a sheet of paper and leave it somewhere to freak people out. Bye.